Hi everybody, it's Diane here with an index card, an index paper, and these things are so thin. Anyway, I've had a couple days here, nothing tragic, thank God, but just I was under the weather for a couple days. I hurt my leg, I'm still gimping around. Our power was out after a storm all day. Anyway, I needed to do something that was relatively simple. And it had crossed my mind, I did a bunch of index card collages in January and February just for the heck of it. And I wasn't really sure if I was going to do traditional iCAD for June and July this year because I already did it. But as you can see, I guess I'm doing it again. Okay, that's got to be the scissors. That can't be me. Look at that. I don't know, not having power all day affects your ability to cut things straight, I think. Anyway, this is towards the end of May here, and I still hadn't really committed to iCAD or not. But since I went to something simple, we're just going to make a few. And I imagine Diane, the responsible person, will probably go ahead and make 61 cards. And that's all I had to say. Oh, and it was hot here, unseasonably hot. And, well, the one day I couldn't have turned my air on if I wanted to because I didn't have power. But just take my word for it. I don't really like air conditioning. I mean, I use it. I have to. But I don't really like it. Anyway, I don't run it in like May. Forget it. It's too early. It's just a day or two. You'll live. And I did, right? But yeah, it was hot. So, wow, this is a nice complainy, whiny video, Diane. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, you're welcome. And plus, I finished that big book. I finished the altar book. I had been working on a page in the dog book, when the lights went out, and I finished that off by myself. So I didn't really want to do another one in there. So I don't kind of technically have other books really going that I wanted to work on or anything anyway. So there. Was this one better? No. Well, that's not bad. It could just use like a focal thing, sort of. Like a woman. Wow, you are tired, Diane. You're not going to go through 100 things and see what's the best? Yeah, I guess not. I believe this is real ephemera, yeah. Wow, you realize I'm holding something in my hand that's well over 100 years old? Makes you stop and think. I wonder what this girl did when her power was out all day. And and of course it's a day where I was home all day, and in this day and age, it's like I don't have the internet. What am I going to do? And it was kind of dark-ish because of the weather and everything. So I didn't really want to do housework or something. I did a little bit, but yeah. Just whining again. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's start another one. Yeah, I noticed, I mentioned somewhere along the line postage stamps are going up in July. And so I was thinking I should buy some before that hits. So just for the heck of it, I looked online if they have any cool new stamps. And they do have a neat buffalo one. So there's your buffalo stamp update. Do. This is fun. Let's use this instead. Can you see? It's like a portion of a child's drawing. Okay, that looks good to me. I'm done. It's not bad. And up until this, like, hot weather, I was still in that stupid, it's like 54 degrees, chance of rain. Everyone around here was sick to death of that. I haven't done any planting between the weather and my health. I'm way behind with that. She's still complaining. Okay, moving on. I'll come back later. I don't know. She might still be complaining. Oh, this is scrapbook paper. These panels. Anybody remember? Yeah, I don't know if I showed this. There was a scrapbook paper that had it was a strip of these Beatrix Potter, Peter Rabbit images on it, and I said, oh, you should make that into a book. Well, I finally did. I said, I don't know if I showed that or not. Sorry if I already did. Anyway, those panels were part of that. I didn't use those. Now see, kind of cute. Money, money, money. Wish it was real. Kind of cool, but I don't think I want to separate this. That's ephemera too. I think that's one of those things, I don't know, at least a year or more ago at Hobby Lobby. I didn't even know they had this. You could buy a package of actual postage stamps, and that was in there. I don't know if they still have those. I know the last time I wanted white sewing thread, they didn't have that. I know that's asking a lot of a craft store. She's complaining. Okay, everybody. I'm going to take a couple of these. These are out of an old 70s magazine, some sort of trading stance. I'm going to glue these together, and then we'll see if I want to add paint or little flowers or something. So thanks for listening. We all have days and years and decades like that, right? Anyway, I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Totally unprepared. I forgot to bring paint up. I wasn't thinking that. So we'll just see if we can do without it. How about that? She's not glued down, mainly because I don't know what I'm doing, just in case. I'm not real wild about this corner here. It's okay. In my opinion, it should be eliminated. So if I put a flower or something under there, I didn't want her glued down. I did ink this card with some brown. Okay. Okay. Obviously I have, well, you can't see, but there are flowers right there by me. I had these little cross-stitch things I made on scrap it's perforated paper. It's not Ada cloth. Once upon a time. Do anything for anything? I don't think so. Okay. Begin again. Let's try a flower here. What type of flower? Well, I'm glad you asked. I would say more realistic. That would be okay. I don't think I like it so much. It goes with her really well. If you want to use this, be my guest. I think I want a color. is this too small? Is it too pale? I think it's too small. If it was bigger, that might be a good choice. But if a pig had wings, it would fly, Diane, I know. La-dee-da. She's looking in a box, no one can see. All right, just for the sake of time, let's try this. Time and viewer boredom. How about that? It's on the back. Kind of dull. It's okay. Okay. Could use a phrase or something on this side. We'll see. I may add another flower. Now I don't really like this corner. However, if anyone is saying you're totally eradicating this second color swatch thing, you're absolutely right. Which is kind of stupid. I don't really like doing that because you're wasting some ephemera, right? Because I don't have any. That one, I don't know. I'm only pulling this because I saw it and I thought the colors were good. These gold flowers might look okay. These aren't bad either. Well, I like the center color on this one better. Kind of cute on the back, little tiny daisies. Yeah, fresh. Could be dollhouse wallpaper, couldn't it? That's nice. At least not wanting that, right? Okay. That one I could see a stitch line around or something. So go ahead and do that. Oh, I ordered another snarky phrases. For those of you that like that. For those of you that don't, I'm sorry. But it hasn't, I ordered it online. It hasn't shown up yet. Sometimes you just got to get your halo dirty. That could be kind of cute because of her hat. But should I save it in case I actually find someone with a halo? I'm not sure. Diane, you're reading. Yeah, I know. Okay, I don't think this woman looks like a mess, but like I said, everything that's going on with me lately, being a mess is exhausting, and truer words were never spoken. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so that was over there. That could possibly benefit from a stitching too. Except there's white thread in my machine. The last of the white thread because I don't have any other spools. Okay, Diane's going to finish these off and we're going to end this video. Hang on. Okay, folks, it's done. Not as simply as one might have hoped for. We'll start with the simpler one. I did leave some green around these flowers for a couple of reasons. One, it is a little easier because if you're, if you're off a little bit, it doesn't impede the perfected petal look. And that's taught in every art class, but you know what I'm saying. And then two, I think if you eliminated that green, I don't know how much it would stand out. It's not dead on that, but it's close. And then I put the half flower over here because it was okay over here and I had one up, but then it did seem like all the flowers were sort of falling off to the left, so that helped. A double row of stitching around, so that's kind of fun. That's cool. And thank you, Georgia. Okay, this one. I did so much little tinkering with this stupid card. All right. Yeah, you can really see that other row of swatches. You want to call a cop? Go ahead. That's just the way it worked out. I tried moving her over. I even tried doing it like this and stuff. No. Okay, well, cut the flower out with the leaves, no less. There was another leaf plus this one kind of broke off. It just was not working for me. It's too bold next to her. That's a fairly pale type image. And then also there was a little black corner of the bottom swatch here. Well, this rose didn't, where I wanted it placed, it didn't really cover that up and looked dumb because there's a little black thing down there. Or forget it. Get rid of this, get another flower. That's fine, except this area was very light. It's still her shoulder, but it was really light. But with the flower, you could tell it was her shoulder, so it looked like she was really slumpy. So I colored that in with a pencil. And then it was just a flaw in the printing. There was a little white spot under her eye there. I filled that in with a pencil. Okay, I thought it needed a little something. There's washi tape here. Being a mess is exhausting. That worked out fine. I did go over the letters a little bit with brown. They're white. And in some cases that would be okay. You can overdo the sepia stuff. Sometimes white is a good idea. I didn't like it in this case. Okay. That was a little tricky to place because of these elements. Then I decided, it said King Arthur Yarns and the address. It was so close to the other printing. I mean, I don't think, you didn't get the idea you were supposed to be reading it together or anything, but it was just a lot of words together. So I went over that with a little bit of off-white paint. I didn't want to totally eradicate it. Then you'd have a completely blank spot there that, now what are we going to do with that? So that worked out pretty well. There's a star here on the original printing, so I punched a couple stars. Yeah, and then this, I was going to have Being a Mess is Exhausting, but I didn't want to cover that cover the triangle. So this was kind of stupid for what it is and what I wanted to do. In the end, it's fine. So 2 more iCads. I'll probably continue on with this. I mean, what else am I going to do with my life, right? In the dark. Okay, folks. Thanks for putting up with this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a very nice, normal, dull day with electricity.